Hello and welcome to another edition of Conspirator Brock's Pull List. This is my pull list for the week of June 24th, 2020. Giant week this week, especially since Marvel and DC are not having books next week. So this is a huge week for me. Next week will most likely be very, very tiny, but let's dive right into it. First up, we have Aquaman number 60. Aquaman has found his daughter, and we are going to figure out where he takes her. The time jumping in this has been a little awkward because he had a baby and then it's apparently now a toddler. But I've been enjoying it. It's not so bad. Kelly Sue DeConnick's done a decent job. Once I think she got her footing with Aquaman, things started to really shape up in the series. But those first couple story arcs were a little rough. Next up, we have something that's normally not on my list, but because Joker War is going on, and this is actually not part of Joker War, but the last page is the splash, so I got it anyway. And that's Batgirl number 46. So we're going to see what happens with Joker War coming up, and maybe kind of gives me a chance to read Batgirl and see kind of what's going on in an issue of Batgirl, because I haven't read Batgirl in God knows how long. But Joker War officially starts in the next issue, which is issue 47. So if you're looking for those specific tie-ins, grab that. I know Nightwing 69 had a tease of Joker at the end, and that issue's sold out everywhere. So if you're looking for those Joker War tease issues, they're going to be tricky to find. Next up is, another one that's Journey to Joker War, and that's Batman at 93. Tyrion the Fourth's done a fantastic job on this. So far I've been enjoying what the setup is. Gillian March's art is fantastic. Batman's still one of those solid books that should be on everybody's pull list. Next up is another Batman title, and it's a new one from the DC Black Label universe, and it actually continues, I believe, a previous story from Black Label, Joker Killer Smile. This is Batman the Smile Killer from Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino. I haven't read the other one. I have all three. I'm caught up to it. It's on my stack over here of like the last three Black Label books I need to read to get caught up, except this week there's two Black Label books that throw on magazine size ones. So that's my kind of goal, is to kind of get caught up with those. I've been reading a lot of, read another novel finally, plowed through another one. So I finished Once Crowded Sky by Tom King, which I thought was really good. And I just finished Altered Carbon by Richard K. Morgan, which really follows the Netflix show fairly closely. I actually would say watch the Netflix show before reading the book, because the visuals that they give in the show really help add to what you're reading in the book, because the book doesn't necessarily dive that far into the descriptions of the places. But that's another tangent. Currently I'm reading Fair Warning by Michael Connolly. But continuing on. Next up, we have a new number one for a series that came out, years and years ago, over 5 years ago. A series from Image that I really enjoyed, that I recommend randomly to people when it pops up in my radar. And it's from Justin Jordan, and that's Dead Body Road, Bad Blood number 1. If you haven't had a chance to read Dead Body Road, you should pick up. They have a trade of it. Pick it up, read it. I enjoyed it. I'm really curious to see what we get out of more in this universe for the Dead Body stuff. So we'll see. Justin Jordan is a solid writer. I don't get all of his stuff, but I've read a fair amount of his, and I enjoy him. Next up, we have a Valiant book, and that's Dr. Tomorrow issue 3. The first two issues were kind of okay. I read most of Valiant's line of books, except Quantum and Woody. That's just horrible. But Dr. Tomorrow's okay, so I'm curious to see where it goes. But overall, Valiant is just a solidly good publication line that if you want to read something that's not the big two, Valiant's something I would recommend. Next up, we have Flash number 756. We've just finished dealing with, what was his name? Paradox. Now we're on to something else, and we'll see. But Joshua Williamson's been knocking it out of the park with Flash. He's done over at this point, I think, almost over 100 issues, or close to 100 issues of Flash. Really, really great, amazing stuff from Williamson. Can't wait to see what he does next, and with Flash going forward. But I think he's going to be coming off the book, but I'm not sure when. Next up, we have another one of those 100-page spectacular 80 year or 80th anniversary, and that's for Green Lantern this time. This is the Green Lantern 80th anniversary 100-page spectacular. The Catwoman one I finally got to. I know I enjoyed it. The Joker one was okay. The Robin one was okay, and what was the one before Robin? Oh, why am I blanking on it? Who knows? There was one before Robin. I don't remember. I got a whole bunch. Oh, I think it was Wonder Woman. Was it Wonder Woman's 80th? I don't know. Anyway, another Green Lantern one. So, oh yeah, Wonder Woman. That one was good. So yeah, we'll see where it goes. I got a couple of variants. Not all of them, but I got a couple of them. Next up, we have Book 2 of Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey from Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti. Yeah, I finally got caught up on the first one. It was okay. I mean, it basically kind of continues what the Harley from their story arc. And, you know, getting some of the Birds of Prey together. So we'll see. It's Amanda Connor drawing Harley. It's great. Next up, we have Justice League number 47, and apparently they're going to be brawling some monsters. Yeah, we'll see what Vendetti has in store for the Justice League, but he's been doing a decent job following on the heels of Snyder's run. So yeah, check it out. Next up, we have Justice League Dark, and yeah, Animal Man's in it. Buy it. It's great. Animal Man's awesome. They need to bring Animal Man back and do a decent series. And Swamp Thing. And do a decent Constantine, which hopefully the Derek Robertson one is going to be fantastic. So I can't wait for that one. Next up, we have Red Hood Outlaw number 46. And apparently Trigon is rising, people. Watch out. Trigon's coming in. So we'll see what's going on with that. Red Hood Outlaw is okay. I don't know why it hasn't gotten back to Red Hood and the Outlaws, but that's basically what the series started as. I think it's ending in issue 50, so a decent solid run for it. I've enjoyed it, so it's not a bad one considering Red Hood and the Outlaws. New 52 was a solid start that really crapped the bed towards the end. Then they tried to reboot it, and it didn't really work so well. And then there was a Red Hood Arsenal thing that was just garbage. This Rebirth one was decent and carried through the whole run. Next up, we have Redneck number 27, Donny Cates' independent American vampire, Southern whatever vampire series. I've been enjoying it the whole time, so if you like vampires, I highly recommend picking up Redneck. Next up is Star Wars Adventures: The Clone Wars Battle Tales. My son's going to hopefully enjoy this one. He was reading some of the comics and then he slowed down on them. It's been difficult with my kids this summer at keeping them off of their electronics and trying to get them to read more. So, yeah, if any of you have any recommendations that don't require a ton of cash and bribery, or even bribery with no cash, I don't know. Let me know what you do as if you're a parent to get them to read more. Mine are stubbornly not wanting to. Even though I love reading and I show my love of reading all the time, and I'm reading in front of them. It's so weird. Next up, we have Suicide Squad number 6, and apparently Batman's coming in, so we'll see what happens in there. Counting down to, yes, Deadshot is going to die, apparently. Tom Taylor has said they solicited it, so we'll see. Nobody really stays dead. Excuse me. Next up, we have Teen Titans number 42. This one I think is coming to a close. Adam Glass has done a decent job on it. It's not super great, but it's passable, and I read it. It's okay. So that was it for my pull list. Like, that's the amount of books I got. Let me go through the variants that I went and picked up. Let me clear this out of the way. So I picked up the variant for Batgirl Number 46. I thought that was a cool variant, so I snagged that one up. Batman 93 had an awesome variant cover, so I snagged that one up. Batman Killer Smile, of course, had a variant as well, so I snagged that one up there. Flash is 756. I got it because I've been getting the Flash variants, but I'm not the hugest fan of this one. Green Lantern is where I did pick up a handful of extra variants. I got the 1940s variant cover by Nicola Scott. I thought that was a fantastic cover right there, especially featuring all of those Green Lanterns and who's been a Lantern. I thought that was a really well done thing there. David Finch did the one for the 1980s, and I thought that one was amazing, so I snagged that up, especially because it's Guy Gardner. Ivan Rice did the one for the 2000s. Everything on that cover is great except Superboy Prime, because that kid's garbage. But supposedly he's being rewritten and there's going to be redemption involved. Yeah, whatever. Jim Lee did the 2010s variant, which, of course, Jim Lee fashion. It's Green Lantern up in the sky with some jets, but at least he drew the ring on the hand this time. You might get that joke from New 52 down the line. Next, and then I finally got the Green Lantern blank, which is green, which I guess you could use a black pen on it. I don't know, but yeah. Adam Hughes did not Adam Hughes. Adam. No. Why am I blanking on who this is? Art Adams, that's it. Arthur Adams did the variant for Harley Quinn in the Birds of Prey, the Black Label book. Mikhail Janin did the Justice League 47 variant, so I snagged that one up there. Philip Tan has just been knocking it out of the park with his variants for Red Hood Outlaw, so I picked that one up for 46. And of course I grabbed the Suicide Squad variant there, which is in one of those that connects with the other covers. So I don't know which issues those read from, but we're connecting covers. So yeah. I did pick up a couple graphic novels this week. The first one is Doomsday Clock Part 2, the hardcover, which comes with a nice slipcase hard thing to put in. So the one here, you grab it real quick. It's right here. So you take your Doomsday Clock Part 2 and your Doomsday Clock Part 1, and it fits right in there. Bam! You have a nice double slipcase for the two-parter. So I can't wait to dive back into Doomsday Clock. I reread the last issue recently because it was on my stack of rereads. And man, Doomsday Clock was just so good. I can't wait to just actually sit down and read it in its entirety. Over 2 books is, okay. I'm super waiting for that deluxe edition hardcover. But yeah, you gotta wait. And another trade I got this week was John Wick Volume 1. I love the John Wick movies, so I was curious to see how well they translate into comic books and see what kind of trouble John gets into and see if it expands the universe, all that wonderful stuff. Weirdly enough, though, Amazon had the hardcover way cheaper than the softcover, and the softcover was, I don't know if they came out at the same time or not, but if you like John Wick and you want to check it out, head over to Amazon. There's a link on conspiratorbrock.com for that if you want, and you can check out for yourself the price difference. But I'm curious to see how John Wick translates to comics, because I think it would just be an easy transition. And finally on this week's pull list, previews number 382 for July of 2020 for release in September of 2020 is out. They're advertising the Department of Truth by James Tyrion IV and some Goosebumps stuff on the other side. But this is what you'll check out for what's coming out in stores in September. There's not too much in here that I'm getting, but I'm kind of excited for the Horizon Zero Dawn stuff. They solicited 2 issues in here. So be on the lookout for that number 1 to be solicited. They do have an Art Germ variant. So if you like Art Germ, you might want to check out Horizon Zero Dawn. I know July 22nd is when they're going to have the free comic book day. Issue 0 for that, so be on the lookout for that one. And you really need to let your shop know about those free comic book day books that are turning into a free comic book day summer. So it's free comic book summer. Every week for 9 months, a bunch of titles are going to be out for free, but shops are probably not going to order in droves like they would on a normal free comic book day. So if there's something out there, there's lists online that you can check out for Free Comic Day 2020, and then they'll give you a release schedule, what's coming out. Just contact your local store and let them know what you're looking for. We already did the orders for the first week, so the second week, which is July 22nd, that's up for this Monday, so make sure you check that list and let your shop know what you want. If your shop's cool, they're going to order it and put it in your box. That's just how it works. So if you want one of those free comic book day books, really let your shop know so they can place their order. And there's also the Marvel previews out, which is a little bit tinier than normal. And it's got, just so you know, Amazing Spider-Man 850 is coming out, and we have X10 of Swords, X of Swords. I have no idea. Hickman, they really, with House and Powers, they really captured my attention, and then just lost it with what's going on in the X-Men universe. So I don't know. X Swords, yeah, we'll see about that. And again, DC is all digital now, so you have to go to DC Select, I think, to check out their solicitation for this month. I'm probably going to go by there later and just do a quick glance over. But honestly, I think most of my comic book ordering for DC is going to be done at FOC at Final Order Cutoff, which every store has on Monday, and that's how you have to order comics and make sure that you get those ones that you want. But yeah, that's it for this week. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you have comments, leave your comments down in the section below. Please be nice. The internet is a horrible place generally, and we don't want to make it any horrible. But yeah, if you have questions, comments, all that stuff, I try to get to them. But being a single dad, I'm super, super busy. So if I do get to it, it might be a week, it might be two, but I'll eventually go through and just comb through the list and just knock out replies and stuff like that. So if you do have a question, post it there. I know I have not been done any unboxing videos in a while, and I need to get back to it. If you can't see from back here, I have a statue that I need to unbox. But again, I haven't had time to kind of facilitate what's the best way to do that, especially with just setup and all that stuff. So hopefully those will return soon. But if you want, you can listen to me over at the Comic Conspiracy podcast. We just finished recording episode 457, and we talked about all the Me Too stuff that's going on in the comic book industry, which is a pain in the ass because, men are just dumb, and they need to understand no is no and stop being douchebags about it and all that wonderful stuff. But again, we don't live in a perfect society, so yeah. So you can listen to us talk about that. I actually watched Word Balloon live this week on Monday night. Monday night, Tom King was on at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, or 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, but 7:30 for me in the Pacific. And it ended up being almost 3 hours long, but it was really great and really informative. So check out Word Balloon. If you watch the video, you'll see I did ask a few questions. I did post a couple comments that it got featured, so check it out. Tonight at same time, 10:30 I believe Eastern, 7:30 for Pacific, they are having Tom King and Mitch Gerardis and Doc Shaner on Word Balloon, so I might check that out this evening as well. I'm expecting that to go like 25 hours or something. No, I don't think it's going to go 25 hours, but check it out. Head over to either Tom. I can't remember the guy who runs Word Balloon right now off the top of my head, and I don't have an easy way to look it up. But you can go find Word Balloon podcast, and you can follow Tom King on Twitter, and he'll probably tweet that he's about to do something online. Click it, and it's on YouTube Live. So yeah. So if you get a chance, and this is up in time, check that out. Otherwise, you can help me and my fellow conspirators out through Patreon at www.patreon.com/comicsconspiracy. For as little as $1 a month, you help support our podcast, and that goes a long way, and we do thank all of our Patreon backers. It is much, much appreciated. You can help me out a little more directly. You can go to any links to Amazon here or at conspiratorbrock.com and click on the link, and I'll get a little Amazon money to spend on Amazon, so thank you people for that. Or you can head over to my eBay page where I'm constantly purging stuff. I need to get some new stuff up. I haven't done that in a while, and I need to make sure stuff is listed because I think it cycled around. So check that out as well. And yeah, so besides anything else, I think I'm good. So I will see you next week.